Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have been sleeping under a rock, Ben Simmons has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden. Essentially, there's other pieces involved. But Stephen A reacts to Ben Simmons' introductory press. Let's see what he says.
Ben Simmons speaking live for the first time since a trade in Brooklyn. Two things I want to say. Stephen A. Lisa Salters asked, where is he mentally and physically? He said, physically, pretty good. Mentally, I'm getting there. I feel like I'm heading in the right direction. And about skeptics about his mental health, he said they should be happy I'm smiling because I've gone through some pretty dark times recently. What is your visceral reaction to all that you just
I thought he about to be on Demon Time.
Yeah, he shook his head.
He was ill prepared for this press conference, and he came across as an individual that simply was not telling the truth.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Disclaimer. I guess it's a trigger warning. I think this is gonna trigger, some mental health advocates. So trigger warning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a sensitive subject. I will try my best to limit the bits. I do admit, not the best human being, but I do take this situation seriously. So I will not say anything crazy.
And I don't say that with skepticism or skepticism or whatever. I'm rooting for the brother. He's a spectacular player. I told you I voted for him for the Defensive Player of the Year. I think he automatically elevates Brooklyn big time. And you know me, I'm Knicks first, New York always. Yeah. So if Brooklyn wins, I'm very, very happy. As long as, Knicks ain't in the picture, but that's a different subject for another day. Ben Simmons had several holes in his discussion here. Number one, he said he was having issues prior to his performance in the playoffs. Yes. Okay? So here's my point. Then why didn't you ask for time off instead of asking to be traded?
That's such a weak point, because when Kyrie took a mental health break, you called bluff on that too, Stephen A. You deadass went on a press run trying to make Kyrie look stupid for taking a mental health break in the middle of the season. So what are we doing? That's a lose-lose situation for him.
There are some things about Ben Simmons that I've raised my eyebrow to as well, and then there's some things where I'm just like, I will give him a break. I would have agreed with Stephen A to a degree if it wasn't from him. Like, you go on Kyrie tomorrow about whenever he takes mental health breaks. Bro went to a family birthday party or something like that. You got on his for that. So, and it's like, nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I can't give you that one, bro. No cap.
If it wasn't about the Sixers, if it wasn't about the organization, if it wasn't about the coach, if it wasn't about a Joel Embiid and your relationship or lack thereof with them, why did you ask to be traded then? That's number one. Number two, he's on the record here, and I wrote this down. He said mental health had nothing to do with anything. Well, aren't you making the case to the NBA and the Players Association that mental health was the reason that you needed this time off, but you should still get paid? Because if you have mental health issues, they can't confiscate
that's
your pay.
that's where I raised
So you've minimized your argument. You hurt your argument in that regard if you were still in pursuit for your money, which I've been told he is. And so when you look at it from that perspective, those are two major holes. Because you're saying it wasn't mental health issues. You just had personal issues. You also said it had nothing to do with the coach, the organization, the city, the fans, or an individual player, which we all assume would be Joel Embiid. Yet you never asked for time off. You asked to be traded. So there's inconsistencies there.
Well, someone asked, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Was there one event where he decided, I need to be out? And he said multiple factors.
Yes.
It piled up. That was the term he used. It piled up.
It piled up, which, again, is inconsistent with what you were trying to say. You said you didn't have a problem with the organization. You said you didn't have a problem with the fans. You said you didn't have a problem with the player. You said you didn't have a problem with the coach.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Well, who the hell you got a problem with? And if you got personal issues that are going on with you, that's not necessarily a mental health issue, unless you said it was mental health. He said, no, it's not mental health. I just had some issues that I needed to deal with. That's inconsistent with the argument that's been disseminated out there. Now, he hasn't spoken, so we didn't hear from him until today. But these were what all the reports were saying.
Well, maybe the reports are wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. I can't run with reports. I can't even run with what you say. My Duke, I ain't gonna lie, so.
If Stephen A's whole argument is, but the reports were saying, so, I mean, there's bad journalism. Bad journalism exists. People can twist words. And honestly, before we move forward, Sage, if you don't mind, I would like to see exactly what he said in the interview.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking that. I was like, I want to kind of give his own perspective.
For me, it was just making sure mentally I was right to get out there and play again. So that's something I've been, dealing with. And it wasn't about the fans or coaches or comments made by anybody. It was just a personal thing for me. That was earlier than, you know, that series or even that season that I was dealing with. You know, and that organization knew that. So it was something that, you know, I continue to deal with, and, you know, I'm getting there and getting to the right place to, you know, get back on the floor.
Yeah, that is kind of
Hey,
sus.
Ben, there was so much like source reporting around everything going on with you. So I guess so you're saying that the mental health issue preceded you requesting the trade in the off season. Okay, I guess can you just shed a little light on the timeline and everything?
Yeah, for me, that was never, the mental health has nothing to do with just the trade. You know, it was a bunch of things that I was dealing with as a person in my personal life that I don't really want to go into depth with. But yeah, I'm here now. So, you know, it's a blessing to be, you know, in an organization like this. And, you know, I'm just looking forward to getting back on the floor and building something great here.
I feel like he can't deliberately say, nah, fuck Philly, or Philly was blowing it, this, that, and the third. But I think he is catching himself up. I do see what Stephen A. was inevitably talking about. It's just me and Bezos do have to point out the hypocrisy of what Stephen A. was initially talking about. But I do see that, like, that is kind of strange, low-key. So you're saying that it was all mental prior to the playoffs, prior to the season even, and then following said playoffs where you did have a meltdown, people were definitely on your ass. Philly fans were saying very gross things to you. I will admit that, and I definitely justify him wanting to get out of Philly. I would even justify him having mental issues because of Philly. That's fine. But then if he's not going to admit to that, it is like, then what the hell was it? Because if it wasn't the mental issues that was earlier in the season that you just alluded to, not even 30 seconds ago, and you're saying there wasn't anything on the court, then what the hell made you want to request a trade?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. If it was something not related to basketball, and you know, he said personal, so maybe it did, but you're dealing with something personal happening to you. I don't think that necessarily means that, you know, you need to leave Philly if it wasn't about Philly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was a case of maybe he did want to come back, but Philly wants to do something right now. You know what I'm saying? They see what Joel Embiid is doing, Tyrese Maxey, the whole team is doing, and they want to capitalize right now. And if Ben Simmons isn't ready for this season, you can kick rocks. We're going to have to trade you. So, yeah, there is a lot of vagueness from both sides. But if it's personal shit with Ben Simmons, I can't really blame him for being vague.
Let me be clear before I get grilled by the 2022s. Put it this way. I'm praying to God that the man is not lying. Okay, I'm praying to God that it is him just being extremely vague because he don't want to talk about it. He don't have to talk about it, as some of you probably already typed. He doesn't have to, 100%. I have way too many personal experiences, whether it's myself or direct family members that have been through depression, been through mental situations where they've damn near sent themselves early, if you know what I'm saying. So I know how that shit is, bro. I'm not saying Ben has to come out and tell us concrete answers. I will however, call out when things aren't adding up because of duh.
And I want to reiterate that on my part too. I'm praying as well he's not capping, because it is extremely dangerous, and this goes beyond basketball. It is extremely dangerous to blame something on mental health when it's not, because what that does is set a precedence of people looking at people saying they have mental health issues, and they're just gonna call them cap. Shit, man, are you just Ben Simmons? Man, I don't know. Mental health is a, you know, extremely important issue to me, at least. It's a very serious issue, and it's not something you should use to cap. And I want to reiterate again, I'm not saying Ben Simmons is actually doing that. Please.
Yeah, please, y'all. Nobody is saying he is capping. Nobody is saying it. I'm saying things do not add up, and I'm praying that he is not capping. I am not assuming, I'm not implying that he is capping. Let me be very clear. Because, again, just as serious as it would be if he's lying, it's also equally as serious to be like, nah, you're a liar, dude. That's crazy. And I would not do that.
And so as a result of that, I'm looking at it from that perspective. Then I'm looking at the fact that the moment you get traded, yeah, y'all had a game in Miami on Saturday, but last night was your first game in Brooklyn since the trade, which happened just 3 days earlier. And you on the bench smiling up a storm.
All right. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is why I'm saying, again, nobody was saying he's lying, because that shit just pissed me off too. I hate this notion, and it goes further than just mental health. It's the whole, like, well, mental health is over the NBA. Oh my God, I almost fucked that up. But it's not even just in the mental health aspect of, oh, you were depressed yesterday, you're reported depressed, you're happy today, what the fuck? Nah, that shit's lame as fuck. I don't need to dissect as to why. But even in the NBA in general, them tweets of the Lakers are like 12th seed, but LeBron smiling at the Super Bowl? Hey, like, bro, cut it out, bro. Cut that shit. Cut that corny ass
Yeah.
shit out, bro. Like, they're human beings, bro. At times, shit's funny. They're gonna laugh. At times, they're feeling good. They're gonna smile. Nobody is 24/7, 365, one singular mood, bro. And if they are, something is really wrong. So the fact that he's not just sitting there crying, boo-hooing, doesn't quite mean he's not depressed anymore. But it's actually good that, hey, he's not depressed right now. Good. Like, keep him this way. Like, do you want him to be depressed?
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want? Yeah, do you want him to be depressed just for the sake of the take? Like, all right, bro, there's a certain line that we have to talk about, and that's the line, bro. The fact that you'd rather have Ben Simmons be depressed, or, you know, you're questioning it. I don't even want to fuck up the wording, but you know what I'm saying. You're prioritizing that over his happiness, bro. And for those who don't, like, get it, essentially what me and Sage are trying to say is, just because someone's smiling doesn't automatically mean they're not depressed. Like, I'll tell you right now, a little bit of transparency on my part. The videos you guys see on this channel is highly edited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I smile for the camera. I laugh for the camera. There have been times in my life the last 3 to 4 years, and I'm not going to put mental health on it, that have just been tough on me, but I don't express that when I'm working, because we got a show to put on. You know what I'm saying? So that's just very ignorant. That's just very ignorant of Stephen A to say that.
As much as I defend myself and making sure I'm cautious on what I say, I'm not gonna just push the Stephen A on the edge and be like, oh, you're a fucked up individual, I will say you phrased that pretty awfully, and that shit just pissed me off.
These are all things that are inconsistent with a person that, according to the report, swore up and down they had mental health issues. And so as a result, these are the kind of things that people are going to look at. Now, in the end,
Well, let's say one thing. Let's just clean one thing up.
Sure.
You can be dealing with mental health, and you can be in a moment where you're
Thank
also
you.
smiling.
Thank you, Mom.
okay, that's
So
true.
both can be true.
That's true, and I'm not saying that it can't.
Let's be fair
What I'm
there.
saying is, what we've all been saying, people who, and I've gone on NBA Countdown and I said this, please understand, mental health issue is a very, very serious thing. And you don't just throw that out for no reason, okay? If he's having those issues, we definitely are sensitive to it. The problem is half the people out there don't believe him. And so when you saw that last night, just a couple of days after you got traded to Brooklyn, you recognize the fact that it was all about getting traded all along. Remember, when they mentioned the mental health issues, the first time we had heard that was when they reported for training camp. We hadn't heard that all summer.
Yeah.
Now, his camp says he said that to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, he said that in the press conference. He said they knew about it
That's
prior,
right.
the Sixers.
And the Philadelphia 76ers have sworn till the cows come home. They never heard a word about mental health issues until October. So somebody's lying. Somebody's lying.
I
We
do
don't
agree
know
that
who it
somebody's
is.
lying.
We know who
I
most
do
people
agree that
believe is
somebody's
lying.
lying.
And so when you look at it from that
mean
perspective,
to
it all
cause
comes
that
down to this. In the end, you're a Brooklyn Net. Period. You got KD and Kyrie as your teammates. Period. You're going to be out there. You're going to play ball. That's what it comes down to. But again, you're going to look at him with those, in terms of this press conference, he was not prepared well enough for this press conference.
We have a
That's
minute
also
left.
true.
We'll do
I
much
give him
more
that
on this, obviously, tomorrow, and we'll hear from Harden live later. But he said, I think it's going to be scary, KD, Kyrie beside me. The pace we want to play at, it's going to be unreal. Talk to me about on the court, next 30 seconds.
I think Brooklyn can win it all. I'm not definitively stating that. I got to see it.
Okay.
But they can win it all. Ben Simmons himself, just Ben Simmons, without Seth Curry, without Andre Drummond, Ben Simmons can guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. He can guard a Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, a Trey
Pushing it a
Young,
little
and all
bit,
of these
but I
guys.
feel it.
He could end up guarding James Harden if they
You
go
can.
against
You
Philly
can.
in
You
the
someone you can throw
playoffs.
at James. I give you
Ben
that.
Simmons is
New
an
rivalry?
all-world defender, and pairing him with KD and Kyrie, that can win you a championship. We cannot rule it out. They are better, much better for this deal. Philly's better, but Brooklyn's more better.
More better. I'm dead. But I do feel somebody's lying. I will definitely admit that. And hell, I'll even say I think Ben is lying in the sense of it's probably Philly. It's probably Philly. And I'm not gonna kill him if he's lying about the fact that Philly was the reason he's depressed. If that comes out to be a lie, oh no, I don't care if he lied about that. That's such an obvious NBA lie. I think it's very justified. A lot of people have jumped the gun and said crazy shit about Ben, and that's why I say I'm praying to God that he's not lying, because if he is, I'm with those people 1,000,000%. But I will say this: now he's in Brooklyn, now he's smiling, now he's in Brooklyn, now it's getting better and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, when you don't have people that are blowing your phone up telling you to kill yourself, when you don't have a fan base that like boos you 24/7, 365. We don't have reporters that are literally trying to get you to trip up in your own interviews. We don't have a MVP. Let's be honest, an MVP level teammate that don't rock with your ass. Like it weighs mentally. And then you have players that like Jimmy Butler, who are only there for like a season or two, begging you to shoot the ball. You're not comfortable shooting the ball. He leaves, and everybody's like, damn, even Jimmy couldn't work with your ass. You're a bitch. Like I'd understand why he'd want to change his scenery. And if he's lying about that, I don't care. Maybe y'all do. I truly wouldn't. Not one bit. But if he's, again, and I want to close my point, Bezos can close the video. If he's lying about mental health in general, just to make sure he got paid, that's a bitch move, bro. I'm being so serious. Look, I know I'm not 6'10", no, I'm not an NBA athlete. That's a bitch move, bro. That's a bitch move.
The whole thing to me is weird in this sense. Let me just bring it locally, I guess. Me and Sage, for those who don't know, we do a podcast with Omar and Damo. If, let's say, Sage, you went up to us and said, I'm taking some time off of personal shit, we wouldn't go around, the media wouldn't, or at least our close friends wouldn't go around just questioning your personal shit. Like, it's just, yo, he's dealing with personal shit. Now, I feel like as a pod, at a certain time, we would have to look at the situation and, you know, make moves depending on, like, yo, are you coming back? Like, you know, we got a business to run here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do what's best for us. So it's very weird to me that Stephen A., a guy who's connected to Philly, has history with Philly, he's more connected to these NBA players than me, Sage, or anyone that I know, honestly, would just, I mean, it's a part of his job too, but I don't know. Maybe I don't even have a point, but that's just, I don't know. It's weird.
If there's one thing I 100% agree with Stephen A., somebody's not telling the truth. Somebody is lying, because the literal facts do not add up. That is 100% accurate. Somebody's capping. I pray to God the lie is Ben don't rock with Philly. I pray to God it's not that he don't eat that. Nah, I don't even want to keep talking about that shit, bro.
But if you want to watch more videos, right here, bro. Right here. We'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Peace.